Welcome everyone, I'm Guido and I am the product manager for Newired, and in today's webinar we are going to talk a little bit about what is digital adoption in 2026 and how the meaning of digital adoption changed in the last few years. So let's start with what digital adoption has traditionally been. So for a long time, digital adoption was mainly about making sure that users could access a tool and perform basic actions with it. So the focus was mainly on onboarding, on the initial training, and generally speaking on helping users reach the minimum level of proficiency. So success was also often measured by simple metrics like logins, like usage rates, or like whether a feature was being used at all. So in this context, digital adoption was seen mostly as an one-time effort. You introduce a tool, you train your users, and then you assume they will be able to carry on from there. But as we'll see, this definition has started to evolve significantly later on. So let's start now with something practical, something that we all can relate to. So imagine a new user who has just been onboarded onto a CRM system and is now asked to create a new account. Even after the initial training, their journey is often far from straightforward. They might not be fully confident about where to start, about which fields are mandatory, about how to structure the data, or which internal rules they need to follow. Of course, there is usually some form of written support available, like an online manual or some documentation, but relying on that often means jumping back and forth between tabs or try to figure out what to search, or even spending time looking for the right information. So this breaks the flow of work, this creates friction, and ultimately slows down the user. And if you scale this across hundreds of users, across multiple tasks and platforms, day after day, it quickly turns into a major productivity and efficiency issue for the whole organization. So they hesitate, they explore, they might even make mistakes, or even worse, they input incomplete or incorrect information. And I'd say that according to traditional digital adoption standards, we could say that this user has been actually successfully onboarded. But as we can see, that's not really the case. So what's missing is something that supports the user throughout the execution of the task, guiding them step by step and ensuring they not only complete it, but complete it correctly. So this is why digital adoption alone is no longer enough, or at least we need to change a bit what digital adoption means today. Because until today, adoption answered the question, are users accessing the tool? But today, maybe we should shift toward an answer to the question, are users completing processes successfully? And another question that we should make ourselves is which kind of issues a user can face today in a so vast and complex digital environment. So let's now add some data-driven perspective. You can see on screen a few key findings about the main challenges that users face when interacting with the workplace software. Um, Without going into every single number, the overall picture is quite clear, I would say. A significant portion of employees regularly struggle with the tools they are supposed to use daily. For example, many features of the software remain underutilized, and remember that you are paying also for the features that are not used at all. And also a lot of time is wasted dealing with issues or figuring things out. And this often leads to frustration and sometimes even impacting the employee retention. And perhaps most importantly, these challenges have a direct impact at a strategic level, with a large number of digital transformation initiatives that are failing to fully achieve their goals. So what we are seeing is not just a user problem, it's a business problem. Let's now see which frictions and issues a user may encounter using, for example, Polarion. Let's pretend I am the new user. I've been tasked with creating a new work item. The first friction uh, comes even before starting to create the work item itself, because I had to know exactly which work item I had to create, and there is really little information about each and every work item that is available on Polarion. Then when I start creating my new work item, let's pretend I had to create now a task. Even from really the basics can come from can come some um, friction. For example, the title. Is there some convention, some rule inside your organization when it comes to creating, to providing a title to your work item? For example, let's pretend I had to create a new menu for my software. Should I just provide a simple title like new menu, or should I state before to which part of my software the menu belongs to, like for example the sidebar? So should I write something like this? So this kind of information can be actually these kind of requirements can be spread throughout uh, Polarion and throughout every process, and those are the kind of information and the kind of rules actually that you will not find on any Polarion manual, because those rules belongs to your organization and your organization alone, because you decide how to use Polarion. For example, another example of this is the severity or the priority. Every organization gives to these scores, these priority scores, different meaning, and you need here to understand which kind of score um, belongs to this specific task. Same thing for the estimation. For example, it's pretty common to could be pretty common to use numbers that go from 1 to 10, or for 1 to 100, or to use the uh, Fibonacci sequence, for example, as we do internally on in Newired. So again, this is a micro rule. This is a convention that has been decided inside your organization, and it belongs to your organization. And obviously, when it comes also to the description, this friction might amplify, because the description is something really more open than just a estimate field here. And the list goes on and on. Um, Here, for example, you have many other fields to fill, many other things to understand, and many other micro rules that you have to know in order to provide the right data to the system. So we just saw which kind of frictions and issues a user may encounter using Polarion. But let's see now which kind of solution there can be to those frictions. The solution can be user-enabled platform as Newired. In this case, I am now prompting this create new work item journey that will guide me through the very same process that I was trying to accomplish before. And as you can see, now I am guided through every step of this process, getting also contextual information about the which kind of work item I should pick. So here, for example, you can imagine whatever information you might want to give to your users in order to recognize the right work item for this specific process. I will now select the task, and from here on, as you can see, I'm getting contextual information about every single step or every single UI element or everything you might want to enrich with context. And for me, it's really easier to know which kind of conventions and internal rules I might follow. All those information that rarely I can find on manuals, but that are really crucial for the success of my process and my business. So here, for example, I'm getting information about the title or how should I structure it, information about every detail about of this work item. I can even get dedicated tips to specific fields, like like in this case, I'm getting from the status and what does it mean if I change it, or what each status means for my organization. I can get some more contextual information about how should I structure the description of my item. Here you can imagine uh, whatever information that might help your users in order to fulfill a perfect description for every work item. And when I'm done, when I got all the information, for example, in this case, I'm getting those for other fields. When I'm done, I am tasked just to click on save, and that's done. Now, the same approach can be adopted for each and every digital platform that you have inside your organization. Even if a single task can start from a platform and end in another platform. For example, here, as you see on screen, I am now following a journey that is started in Polarion. This journey is about changing some status on Jira. So here, from here, I can jump directly into Jira, and as you can see, Newired is still guiding me through the process and asking me to change the status of this specific item in Jira. So, looking at these use cases, I would say a clear pattern emerges. At Newired, we see a fundamental shift happening in organizations, a move away from simply focusing on tool adoption, making sure that people log in and use a platform, towards the true user enablement. That's why I think the new focus of adoption should be in user enablement, because adoption alone is no longer enough. It doesn't guarantee efficiency, accuracy, or compliance. User enablement, on the other hand, means empowering people to navigate the complexity, to complete the task correctly, and perform their best across tools, across processes, and across the entire digital workspace. Is about preventing the errors, is about reducing the training and the support, is about facing the change management, is about everything you might need inside your organization to do things correctly. So let's see now what we offer as a user enablement platform. The first thing I would like to point out is the fact that we know that many organizations, especially in regulated industries, cannot rely solely on cloud solutions. That's why Newired offers, first of all, on-premise deployment options, and then grants you the full control over the data and the infrastructure that you are going to use or that you are currently using, and the compliance with strict security requirements. So this makes enterprise-wide enablement possible with even in highly controlled environments. In terms of features, our platform supports users across their entire journey inside your organization. It supports onboarding with step-by-step interactive guidance and role-based learning paths. It supports uh, your support to your users with real-time in-application assistance and contextual help when and where it's needed. And it also supports every process enablement with guided workflows, with most of all with error prevention and the let's say the standardization of process execution. Another useful thing that we offer is also the seamless integration with learning management systems. So if you are already using an LMS inside your organization, you can deploy Newired and integrate it with your existing LMS. That means that you can combine structured learning with in-app guidance. You can, for example, launch a journey directly from the LMS if you need one. You can reinforce training directly in the flow of work. So basically, your users will learn while doing. And then obviously, you can also track the results. And speaking of tracking results, let me also introduce you the fact that Newired is not only about supporting your users, but is also supporting your management to understand where the issues are. Because Newired comes also with an analytics feature that is basically monitoring the behavior of your users, either using the same guide that I showed you before, so the Newired journeys, to understand how effective they are or if there are some issues in them, but also understanding the interaction between your users and your platforms. So for example, what you see here is Newired that is tracking, gathering some data about, for example, the views, how many users, and how much time spent or in total or in average you have for every page of your application. So from here you can basically deduce where the friction is and try to solve it, even at this granular level, understanding uh, basically who has some issues with the platform itself and arranging those groups of users with segments in a way you want. And that's why with our latest release, the 26.1, uh, analytics were at the center of our focus. We just released our new um, analytics collector engine with some optimization in terms of performances and some optimization in terms of backup speed, backup reliability, storage consumption, above all, more precision in getting the data about the behavior of your users. Then there is the second part of our 26.1 release that is reserved for our early adoption program for our new machine learning based product. So a dedicated webinar will come speaking about the details of this new product, but for now everything you need to know is the fact that we are currently launching the early adoption program for it. So if you are interested in trying out the new product for free and also obviously helping us shape it and refine it, please follow the QR code that you see right now on screen and subscribe for our early adoption program. So at last we reached the end of this webinar, and before we close, just one more note. If any of you have specific use cases in mind and would like to see how Newired can support them in practice, we'd be more than happy to explore them together. So, if you, for example, if you want to see Newired live in your environment, trying to solve the use cases that you have in mind, reach us and we can set up a proof of concept tailored to your scenarios completely without commitment, so you can see the value firsthand in your own environment with your own eyes. So thank you all. Feel free to reach out to us. We would love to continue the conversation, and with that, thank you all for your time and attention, and have a great day.